Hello everyone and welcome back. A big thank you to everybody who has subscribed. If you have not subscribed, please do so that you will get a notification each time I upload a new video. Today we are going to see the importance of patience. Last time we saw how I had completed college and was now working in a non-governmental organization on a temporary basis. I worked in the printing department. This non-governmental organization had a lot of projects in Kenya, mainly to do with health. And they had a printing, also known as publishing department, where they printed books, leaflets that they used in their projects, and some of the books were also sold to companies and other organizations that needed them. Because I was a temporary member of staff, it meant that sometimes I would work on the shop floor, and sometimes if the secretary needed help, she would call me and I would go and help her in the office. Most of the time you would find me on the shop floor, and when you came to work in the morning, the rule was you put on a white lab coat and then you would go into the shop floor and then start working. As I was not a trained machine operator, most of the work I did on the shop floor was to inspect the final product. So by inspecting the final product, it meant that you had to look at the book, make sure that it was numbered properly, that there were no pages missing. You are also checking to make sure that the ink has not spilled over, so that everything is clear and legible. So the inspection was very important, and it took a while because this is the company's reputation at stake. Therefore, whatever we publish, whatever we print and put out in the market had to be of some specific standard. Attention to detail was very important because you are inspecting the final product, and this meant that you have to make sure everything is nice and presentable so that customers are satisfied when they buy the books or use the leaflets. The printing department was fun. People were easy and outgoing, and we worked Monday to Friday, 8 till 4:30. The printing department was a very lively place to be. The people were good to me, and I made more friends once again. You can see now I have transitioned from college and into the working world, even though I am doing something I did not train for, but without me realizing I was already now working. This goes to show that sometimes you don't have to be doing what you trained for at college. For as long as you've got somewhere to go to every day and they're paying you, I think it's better than staying at home. If I had decided not to take up this printing job and said maybe it's not something I trained for, I would have missed an opportunity to actually work for that organization. My advice to anybody who's looking for a job out there, I think it's better to take any opportunity that comes your way. And if you think that maybe this job is not what you studied for or you don't like it, I still think it's better you take that chance. Continue working. You're looking after yourself, and when you continue working, at least you are also building your CV and you're looking out there for your right job, and keep applying, and finally you will get your ideal job and then you will quit. I have heard of cases where people are told there's an opportunity here, would you like to come and do this job, and most people will say I don't like that job because it's not what I trained for. I am a strong believer that something is better than nothing. You had better have that job, even if it's paying low, even if it's something you don't enjoy doing. It is much better than staying at home and not having any income. Having a positive outlook towards life and opportunities is very important, because times will come when you will be desperate for employment, and if you are choosy and if you're the type of person who says I'll not do that job because that's not what I trained for, you will end up staying at home longer because maybe the kind of job you trained for, there are so many people who did the same course and therefore the competition is very stiff. I would advise people just take what has come first, work on it, continue going to work, earning a living, and then meanwhile you start looking for your ideal job. As I share with you my experiences in life, you will see the kind of jobs I have done before, totally unrelated to what I studied. The most important thing for me is to be able to pay my bills and look after myself. By the time I was finishing college, things had begun to change in Kenya. I think the population had increased and the opportunities available for employment had decreased. So it became a big challenge for people completing school and college to find employment. However, when I compare with my father's working life, if I remember well, my father quit the civil service 3 times. So he would quit the civil service, go private for a couple of years, and then when the project he was working on in the private sector finished, he would go back to the ministry and get his job back. I think in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, up to mid-1990, the employment situation in Kenya was a little bit better. There were jobs still available, but later on, as we entered mid-90s, things began to change and it became very difficult for people to get jobs. I think more and more people were going to school and getting qualifications, and upon completing school, there were not so many opportunities for employment. Today we have seen how important it is for you to be patient while looking for a job. I remained a temporary member of staff for a couple of years, and I must admit there were days when I would ask myself if this was the right thing, if I should stop going there and concentrate more on tamarking and looking for a full-time job. Thank God I did not do that. I persevered. I continued working as a temporary member of staff until an opportunity presented itself. There was a department that was looking for a copy typist, and when this opportunity came, I put in my application, attended an interview, and was offered the job, now as a full-time member of staff. You can imagine how happy I was when I got this job as a full-time member of staff. This meant that I had other benefits that came with being a full-time member of staff. Join me in my next video to find out how my life is going to change when I become a permanently employed member of staff. Take care of yourself, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.